Hello everyone. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a novel by Ken Kenzie that was published in 1962. The story is set in a mental institution and explores themes of power, control, and rebellion. It is narrated by Chief Bromden, a Native American patient who is feigning deafness and muteness in order to avoid confrontation. Then the characters in the novel are complex and memorable, with Randall McMurphy and Nurse Ratched representing opposing forces of rebellion and oppression. The novel's exploration of mental illness, power dynamics, and social conformity make it a thought-provoking read that challenges the reader to question societal norms and the way that individuals are treated within the institutions. Overall, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a must-read for anyone interested in American literature and the exploration of themes such as power, control, and rebellion. It has had a significant impact on popular culture and continues to inspire adaptation and interpretations in various forms of media. First of all, let me introduce all the main characters of this story. Randall McMurphy is the protagonist of the novel One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He is the charismatic and rebellious character who is committed to mental institution after feigning insanity to avoid hard labor in the prison. McMurphy challenges the strict authority of Nurse Ratched, the head of the ward, and inspires the other patients to resist her control. Nurse Ratched is the head nurse of the mental institution. She is the strict and rigid figure who maintains control over the patients through manipulation and intimidation. She is known for her calm and controlled demeanor, which masks her tyrannical tendencies. Chief Bromden is a Native American patient who pretends to be deaf and mute in order to avoid confrontation. He is the narrator of the story and provides a unique perspective on the events that unfold in the mental institution. Chief Bromden is initially a passive and marginalized character, but he is inspired by McMurphy's rebellion and eventually becomes the more active in resisting Nurse Ratched's control. Bill Bibbit is a young patient who suffers from severe anxiety and a stuttering problem. He is a timid and vulnerable character who is easily manipulated by Nurse Ratched. Billy forms a close bond with McMurphy, who encourages him to assert himself and stand up to Nurse Ratched. Dale Harding is a patient who is unofficial spokesman for the group of patients. He is intelligent and well-spoken, but he is also emasculated by his homosexuality and his dependence on his wife. Harding is initially skeptical of McMurphy's rebellious nature, but he eventually becomes an ally in the fight against Nurse Ratched's control. For the people who haven't heard of this book, let me give a short summary to them. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a novel by Ken Kenzie published in 1962. The story is narrated by Chief Bromden, a patient in the mental institution who pretends to be deaf and mute in order to avoid confrontation. The arrival of new patient Randall McMurphy disrupts the rigid and oppressive environment of the institution. McMurphy is a rebellious and charismatic character who challenges the authority of the strict Nurse Ratched, the head of the ward. He encourages the other patient to stand up for themselves and resist Nurse Ratched's control. As the story progresses, McMurphy's rebellion becomes more intense, leading to a series of confrontations with Nurse Ratched. Ultimately, McMurphy's rebellion results in tragic consequences, including the death of several characters and McMurphy's own lobotomy. The novel explores themes of power, control, oppression, and rebellion. It also highlights the dehumanizing effects of institutionalization and the importance of human connection and individuality. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a powerful and provocative novel that has become a classic in American literature, inspiring numerous adaptations and interpretations in various forms of media. I'm going to enact one of my favorite incidents that took place in the novel. As per the schedule, all the patients were packing to go to the park. McMurphy saw this as an opportunity to do something that will give the taste of real freedom to the patients. He hijacked the bus and took it to one of his favorite fishing lakes. The patients of the mental institution are gathered by the shore of Serene Lake. McMurphy is setting up fishing gear and handing out bait. Alright boys, we are going to catch us some fish. The patients look around in awe, taking in the sights and smells of the natural environment. They begin to set up their own fishing gear, some more eagerly than others. I have never been fishing before. I don't know what to do. Don't worry kid, I will show you the ropes. As McMurphy teaches Billy how to cast a line, the other patients start to catch fish. They cheer and laugh as they reel in their catches. Chief Bromden, who has been watching from a distance, starts to approach the group. I thought you said this wasn't real. Who says it isn't real, Chief? Look at all these fishes. The patients continue to fish and enjoy the outdoors, forgetting their troubles for a while. They share stories, sing songs, and bond over their newfound freedom. The sun is starting to set. The patients are packing up their fishing gear. They are all tired but happy after a long day in the sun. Alright, boys, time to head back. Thank you, Murphy. This was the best day ever. You ain't seen nothing yet, kid. The patient make their way back to the institution, a newfound sense of camaraderie between them. The camera lingers on the tranquil lake, as if to say that if for a brief moment the patients were able to escape their troubles and find a moment of peace. Here are the few reasons why this scene left a great impact on me. Firstly, the scene provides a moment of freedom and escape for the patients who are otherwise confined to the oppressive environment of the mental institution. Through the act of fishing, they are able to connect with nature and experience a sense of autonomy and control over their surroundings. This is particularly important for McMurphy, who has been trying to break the patients out of their passivity and conformity. Secondly, the fishing scene highlights the power of human connection and camaraderie. The patients bond over their shared experience and support each other, demonstrating that even those who are deemed crazy by society are capable of forming meaningful relationships and supporting each other in the times of need. Finally, the fishing scene serves as a symbol of the theme of rebellion and resistance that run throughout the novel. By organizing the fishing trip and challenging the rules of the institution, McMurphy is asserting his own independence and encouraging the patients to do the same. The scene also foreshadows the ultimate rebellion that takes place later in the novel when McMurphy and the patients stage a revolt against Nurse Ratched and the system that oppresses them. To break the monotony of the hospital life, McMurphy organizes a party which was against the schedule set by the Nurse Ratched. The scene is set in the ward. The aftermath of the party is still lingering in the air. The patients are all in their beds with McMurphy sitting quietly in the corner. Billy, who had previously been a stutterer, is now speaking fluently, having had sex with the prostitute McMurphy arranged for him. I can talk. I can really talk. The other patients cheer, but their celebration is cut short by the sudden arrival of the Nurse Raj. What is the meaning of this? We are just having a little celebration, nurse. You should try it sometime. This behavior is unacceptable. You're all here for a reason and you will follow the rules. I'm sorry, nurse. I didn't mean to do anything wrong. Oh, Billy, don't worry. I'm not angry with you. But you should think about what will happen when I will tell about this to your mother. Billy starts to sweat and panic as he is very afraid of his mother. Later in the day, he was found dead. He took his own life with a piece of glass he found. McMurphy burst into the room, a look of pure rage on his face. You think you can control us? You think you can get away with this? Mr. McMurphy, I suggest you to leave this room right now. McMurphy lunges at her, but she quickly dodges out of the way. Two orderlies rush in to subdue him. Later, the patients are all in their beds, looking terrified. McMurphy is strapped to the gurney with orderlies standing guard. Don't worry guys, I will be back soon. The orderlies start to wheel him out of the room, but the other patients can see the fear in the eyes. They know that he's not coming back. In the operating room, later the McMurphy is lying on a table with Nurse Ratched and the doctor standing over him. Doctor asks her, "Are you sure about this, nurse?" Absolutely, doctor. This is for his own good. The doctor starts to perform a lobotomy on the McMurphy, and the other patients can hear his screams going through the halls. Later in the novel, Chief Bromden symbolically freed McMurphy by suffocating him with the pillow. This act can be seen as a culmination of the bond that had formed between the two characters throughout the story. Overall, Chief Bromden's act of suffocating McMurphy can be seen as a bittersweet moment of freedom and release, as well as a tragic reminder of the destructive power of oppression and control. Here are few of the quotes and lines which have inspired me when I was reading this book. But it's truth even if it didn't happen. This quote spoken by McMurphy highlights the importance of personal truth and perspective, even if they don't align with the objective reality. But it was like somebody had taken the lid off some kind of Pandora's box and opened up all the dirty smells and the bugs and everything, and what came out was me. This quote, spoken by McMurphy, describes his realization that he is not actually insane but has been institutionalized due to his rebellion and refusal to conform to societal norms. You are not a man, you are a chicken. This quote, spoken by McMurphy to Harding, highlights the character's emasculation due to his homosexuality and dependence on his wife. She's not afraid of losing, she's afraid of losing control. This quote, spoken by McMurphy, describes Nurse Ratchet's primary motivation for maintaining strict control over the patient and highlights the destructive nature of the power and control. Overall, this quote from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest highlights the novel's themes of power, control, and rebellion and personal truth and demonstrate the complex and memorable characters that populate its pages.